Hello, welcome. My name is Karen. This is show 152. Enlightenment. What's up, people? There's some topics I'd like to share with you, my thoughts on certain issues that are in the media at this time. I'm going to talk about the Muslims. I'm going to talk about the becoming aggressive to create our country, defunding the police, and most importantly, the police might be defunded by the Muslims. It's all planned, all these events, all for 10 months. They're preparing us for today in regards to what they're doing to make us viable, us good at doing this job of policing the people. So let's start off with the Muslims. I'm not happy with them. We brought too many of them into our country. And that's all planned. This is all a system they planned. As far as I know, I was talking to a man from Turkey. I was at Bill Clinton's meeting, and this man from Turkey talked to me. And pretty much we come to the conclusion that the United States was the only country that wasn't associated with Muslims. There are about 2 billion people who are Muslims, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. If you're going to leave your country, come to this country, why do you want to be different? Because the scars they have over their head, on their head, is not appropriate. It's not the American way. People who come here from Jerusalem, they have their beanies, but they are quiet, they do their work, they don't put their faith onto us, and etc. I'm not fond of those scarves being worn. In Jerusalem, the people are quiet. They just want to live a comfortable life. The Muslims are becoming aggressive to create our country. One of the things they're doing is the defunding of the police. If you notice, many of them have been hurting others and maybe extinguishing their life. The police are going to prison. So what they have is they are tried and proven that they literally hurt someone to the point of death. Those kind of actions we do not evoke. We do not want the police have to suffer between 2 parties, meaning the good that we are helping and the bad. And we don't want to defend the police. They're the police who are retiring before their time to receive retirement payment. Police are in a bad situation. So that's the top stories I'm going to talk about now. I hope you can find something you could get out of this presence and work with us. Let me continue. The police at this time are not to be able to do their job as we know it. The people who don't support the police, if they can make things better for the police, fine, that's fine. They need help. If the police can receive support from all people and receive the equipment to help them do their job safely. Maybe they need more training on keeping themselves safe. We don't need people who will do bad and inappropriate behaviors. Get the support for all of the people associated with keeping all of us safe when we protest. When we protest an idea and a thought. Do not defund the police. Defund the police. We need you all of you to become police officers. There are less people going into this profession. It is the Muslims that are here to control our government. Should we send you away and go back to Afghanistan and all other Arab states? These Muslims may move forward and to take our way of life away take our way of life gone and to live the way we ought to live against. Keep us in charge. Be advised, your faith is not a spiritual faith. They are worshiping in a non-existent God situation. The cube is an object of people's faiths. They entities are not to be a good. Are they good? Their way of living for all, but we are allowed to choose it, but not force your own faith to take over our way of life. The government has to reassess to whether or not to stay in this country. We must unite to defend ourselves from Arab followers to live in our country. We can give them some land, and then they can protect their way of living as a place for the Muslims to live. Don't live in our country here with your faith. With your faith doesn't apply to everyone in the United States. All of us wants to be compatible with all Americans. The Muslims want their faith to cause our country to have a war inside our borders. The Muslims, Arab countries, should find a different home. They planned all this so their followers can live and share our country with the Muslims. According to Americans, we will not allow us to live their way of life. There is something I really don't like, and they are going to take over our country. Take over our way of governing. And speaking of Arabs and finding answers to the questions that we must use these ideas to keep everyone safe from themselves and all others. The Muslims have taken our country and make it their own country. We know they can go back to their own country. We can't help all the people to be congeniality. Okay. People, us Americans, will stand up and do what's okay in our country. Turkey was one of the last countries to live free, and that it was in our country. If they start to do what they want to do, then at this time, we are the last free country. People, we want all of you to be ready to live in the ways of today's world. So the United States is the last free country. All Americans must stand up and be not afraid. With my taking the head leadership role, I will defend and protect our country. I have spoken about this concern in the past, and it is more frequently. The government is starting to be more aggressive in maintaining our legislation and live the way the Americans live. If then start to do what they want to do, then at this time all Americans must stand up and be not afraid. With my taking of the leadership role, I will defend and protect our country. I had spoken about this concern in the past, and it is more frequently. President Biden, I have ideas about addressing the crisis at the border, the southern border. That's all. We must stand up to live the way the Americans ought to step up. Americans, stand tall. Be not afraid. I am interested to work as an appointed President Biden. I am interested to working at a appointed position on your team. There are something to tell you, and when it starts happening, the future that is, my knowledge had to be said to you and the White House staff. President Biden, we need to work close together. I want to get some of the work to have happen. I think it's time for me to help you. The Muslims must go. We took too many people out of Afghanistan. We can no longer support them and take care of them. They should have known we will one day leave, and we did. And all those people wanted to get on the plane, but they couldn't. We only had so many spaces, and they need to learn to protect themselves. They can do it. I would like to be in an appointed position, as I have messaged, with you and our people. Let's talk about the concerns about the Muslims. We let too many people, Arabs, into our country. Yes, I know how they will transition the Americans to be second person on this topic. The effects of the Muslims, our country, the Americans, are allowing to let the Muslims bring their faith into our country. This has to be stopped. I can help you and all others. People, our countrymen needs us to defend ourselves from Muslims and all other faiths and all other people from other countries. We need to take care of America. So that's what I want done. We take care of America. People, God bless to all the people who are the true Americans. All that is happening. We have been done to bring down our ways of life. Vice President Kamala Harris is one of the ones who want to support the Arabs. I don't think she truly is happening. We'll talk more. So Americans must come together. And if the Arabs don't leave, they continue to live amongst us, then let's bring them to an area in the Midwest. Let them have their own place of living, and let them sow the ditches, the lines to plant vegetables, and put seeding into these passages where the tires go on the land that they're plowing. And people, I want us to keep our way of living. And if the Arabs don't like this and try to remove us from where we are today, well, maybe there should be some kind of penalty for that. This is my country. This is my Americans. These are my people. And my people are your people. God bless to all the people who are the true Americans. All that is happening been done to bring down our way of life. Vice President Kamala Harris is one of them who want and supports the Arabs. I don't think she truly is happening, but we're going to talk some more about this. We have a lot to learn, and knowledge is power. So please, be strong, be firm. Watch over us, people. People in the heavens, please guide us in the right direction and help us to make our world a place where everyone can live safely and comfortably. I don't think Miss what's her name? Kamala Harris, our Vice President, to lead the people in our country and to start taking away our leaders. As for the people who are the police officers, don't retire. Don't leave. Don't leave. Stay there. We will give you the equipment you need to stay safe. I know you have both parties against you, the family members of the people you arrest and take to prison, and then you have people who do their job to the best of their ability. I don't think that's that many people who are dying as a result of police brutality. I just think they overdid it. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing, and they didn't know the consequences. But if we need to, the Muslims can have an area for themselves to live and all. And I want to point out one more thing, people. The Muslims, if you notice in the commercials, that there's a big house and a pool overlooking the ocean. They're sharing homes. People who have an extra bedroom that's not being used, these people from any country comes into our country, you really shouldn't put their ways upon us. It's not Americans' way. Our people, keep going, keep moving forward and upward. Just like Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said, you just do it. What needs to be done, you just get out there and do it. Don't let anyone bring you down. If you think your ideas are important, send it to them. Don't fight for it. Just let it happen. Let it come to you. God knows what He's doing. That's another thing. You worship a cube. The cube is a vehicle, not for the gods, but for the people, to keep us safe. We could do better than that. We want our country to stay the way it is, and let everybody else conform to our way. We will no longer be taking people from outside the country who need to join us in our country. But remember, I have ideas for the southern border. President Biden, let's talk. There's a lot I have to say. Okay, how are you doing, people, okay? Did you absorb all that information? Well, as we move on and live on, we'll do better with all aspects of leadership in our country, America, the beautiful. God bless all of you.